Hello everybody, so we are back on the Kirk. I went back and forth on a ton of things. It was kind of a disaster. So I left it for a few days to think about it on what I wanted to do. And this is where we're at. Mounted the black Derailleur XT headset. I put in a short black quill stem so the bike fits me well. I put on the only silver riser bar I could find. It's not really the right color. I would like it to be a little bit more shiny, like the seat post. But for now, it'll do. And when I find a bar that I like better, I'll just swap it out. The Manitou looks great. I got the brakes on. I forget the model of these brakes, but I will look it up and let you all know. But they are pretty cool cantilevers. This is again the Manitou that was rebuilt. The spins are on it. I think I want to replace the crankset, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I did take the gold cable housing off because I decided that there was nothing else gold on the bike, and I just didn't like how the gold looked. So we're gonna put white on because I think white will look good with the white logos. I did take the white saddle off because I'm not a fan of white saddles. But if we run a black saddle, it'll be fine. And then I have some Ori grips to put on it for now. I think because these will be easy to take off if I want to swap the bar instead of ESIs, which is what I normally run, but then ESIs are vintage, so I think these would be perfect. The plan for today is to recable it, track down a saddle to put on it, and get this thing ready to ride. I am going to keep my eyes open for a crankset to swap out with this. I have an XTR M900 that could work, but it is a little bit more worn. And because the paint is new, I'm trying to find the least worn parts possible so it doesn't look weird. So that's where we're at there. So I'm gonna go grab some supplies from the back and we'll get cracking. Okay, so we've run into, not a problem, but a small issue. Because I chose this stem, because it was short and black, 1.125 inches, it has a roller, but our fork has the cable stop. But when the cable is ran through the roller, it's going to come down at an angle that is going to rub in there, and I don't want it to rub there and put a gouge in here. And if we put the straddle cable above this, I'm worried we're going to get too high and braking power won't be very good. So we're back on the drawing board of trying to find another stem that will work. So I'm just going to keep digging and see what I can find. While I ponder the stem, we're going to run the rear brake, and you'll see here it's full housing all the way back until it gets to this stopper. So we're just gonna run full white housing. I do have these nice kind of rubber, they're gonna go on the housing so that the housing doesn't clatter when we route it. Okay, so I have the housing. I want my first rubber grommet to be here, and then we're gonna put one here and here so that it doesn't clatter. So we need to push the grommet on first before we put the housing through the guides. These were on the gold housing, and I thought, oh man, those are super cool. So I'm excited to be able to reuse them on the white housing. These Ritchie levers are for the other brake housing. They're for the big brake housing. Because these are for the big style brake housing, which I'm not using. And I don't want it to be sloppy. So we're just going to find a set of nice ones that have the same thread diameter, but that are for the smaller housing, and that'll solve the sloppy factor. Okay, I've made the decision to switch to some Derailleur MT63 levers. These will go well with the shifters. Obviously, I could have swapped the barrel adjusters, but I just decided that I liked these better. So that way the whole cockpit, Shimano brakes, Shimano shifters, I think will flow a little bit better. I looked to see if I had a fancy pair, but everything I have is red, and there's no red on the bike, so I'm not going to put a pair of red levers on. So these are what we're going to use. Another thing I also like about running this combination is with the Richies, this part is shorter, so then the barrel adjuster ends up under the shifter, which is just, if you ever need to access it, it was going to be kind of a pain to reach. You can't just reach over and do it. So that's going to look better. So now we're back to running this rear brake cable. Okay, I'll get this ran. Nothing too special or complex about this, and then we'll be back. So I looked up again what the brakes were, and they are Machining Joe cantilevers. So they're pretty cool. Just getting ready to get them set up. Got the straddle cable. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I actually mentioned what brand they were. So Machining Joe. Yeah, that looks good. It looks really good with the logos. I'm very happy with how that turned out. The stem and handlebar and seat post debacle. So I found a silver stem that is short. That's 1.1 inches. Obviously it would match the top of the fork. And the cool part too is it is a faceplate, so it will make swapping out the bar easier. We're gonna put it on this bar and this silver stem and see how it looks. I'm not sold. It obviously solves the cable issue, but it may not look right. So we're gonna find out. The only way to figure out is to put it on and stand back and look at it. I don't know. Do we like it? I think we're gonna roll with that for now, and we'll see where it takes us. This has one of the adjustable pieces. I actually ordered some of these so I can fix the brake on the clunker to make it a little less severe angle. So it'll stop just a tad better. So we're just gonna slide that up so that we can get this positioned where we need it. I think it's the same 2.5. Nope, it's a 2. Woo! Thought I lost the bolt there for a second. Just it spun around on me. Oh, that's right. I need to adjust these tensioners. That's why we're not getting the spring back. Ooh. Nice thing about the spins, it's easy to get the wrench through to get these tensioned properly. It just fits. That's a bonus. Don't have to take the wheel off. I like to get them just about tight. Yeah, so you just spin these till you have some tension, and then tighten your brake bolt. I'm gonna put this right here. This is where I think it needs to be. You want to make sure you tighten these nice and tight so that you don't go to grab brake and then pull your cable through. You'll see that we have a lot more movement on this side than we do on this side. So I either need to loosen the tension or add tension. We're just gonna add a little tension first. So you wanna make sure you grab that before you loosen it. And then we just added a little tension. And now they look pretty equal. So there we go. Here's where we are. We need a white shifter housing and a saddle. I like how the stem and bar turned out, and I think I'll keep the seat post for now. Well, it was just going to be a wheel swap. Turned into a little bit more of a project, but it was it forced me to start rebuilding forks, which I've been really enjoying, so I'm glad I did it. The fork turned out great. Just waiting for the seal so I can put those in the top. I'll pull up the rest of the parts, and then once the white housing gets here, we'll finish this up. This video is gonna have span like a month, but glad this one's close to being done. Okay, so the white derailleur housing finally arrived. So we are set to finish the Kirk. We're just gonna run our derailleur housing. I think the white is gonna look really good. I already really like how the white brake housing looks. So let's get cracking. Okay, so both of the derailleur cables run on this side. We're gonna run the rear derailleur on the top so that it can go straight from here to here. And we're gonna run the front derailleur on the bottom because it's gonna go from here to here. So I got the box of housing. I just kind of keep the box on the floor. Pull out as much as I need. We're going to be working on this front piece first. So it's going to be going from there to here. Ooh, it's going to look good. And then, yeah, I just want to make sure that you got enough for whatever happens. I like that. We're going to cut it right there. I've really been, I've switched to, I wasn't an apron person, and then I got this toe peak apron you've seen me in the last few videos, and I really like it. It's nice. It rolls up at the bottom, so it's not as long, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much. And just like we did on the brake cables, so we don't get any rub here, I have these rubber grommets, and we'll just line those up so that it's touching right here on the head tube. And then I also have ones for the cable, and you just want to push and twist as you insert these. Twist the way the cable is twisted so you don't untwist the cable. So now we're moving on to this piece. So again, we'll just take our white housing and figure out where it needs to be. I was just make sure the ends are open with my handy dandy pick. Okay, so now we're gonna switch to the front. And so this one is gonna run from here to the bottom to here, and then down to our top pole front derailleur. You wanna do a little bit of cable management just to try to get everything to look right sometimes. Takes a little bit more fiddling when stuff goes out when both cables go to the same side. But I don't like how this is looking. I feel like this one for the sake of this, I think it needs to come in here. Okay. Okay, I think that is the best way to do the cables. They line up on this side the nicest. So that's what we're gonna do there. Okay, so now we're on to this section. So we're gonna be going from here to this stop. I think we kind of want it to look like that. So we run that through there. Oh, I think we should trim that a little bit, right? So that it's not above or behind. I always want to make sure you pull the housing off before you trim it. Otherwise, bye-bye to your cable. And we're just gonna take a little bit off. A tad bit more. We're just gonna do that much more. We got it in so that it's no longer above. And then these front derailleur, these top pull front derailleurs can be a little hard to route. Especially this one's kind of, it's kind of tucked in here, but cable goes in and then out kind of the back bottom, and then everything else is the same. Just apply tension and try to get both your hands, get your hand out of the way. So I just need to trim some cables, cap some cables, and I think this thing will be done. So I'm gonna knock those things out real quick. Everybody has their own way to crimp cables. I have an old pair of side cutters that I got from a garage sale that are too dull for cutting wire, but makes them perfect for cables, and they're pretty small. And it's my preferred tool for crimping. Just like that. And we have a nice crimped cable end. You know, rule of thumb is like 2 fingers worth of cable, so that you can grab onto it if you need to work on the tension. And we'll do the same on the front. Front's gonna be a little bit trickier. We gotta get back in here with it. So there is a cavity that I can push it into, so I'm gonna cut it and crimp it, and then we're gonna tuck it in there. And then I'm just gonna tuck that back in there. So that may make some noise and annoy me, but for now I just have it tucked in there. I may trim it shorter, but we'll see how that, you can see, we'll see how that works. The Kirk is done. Well, as done as a project ever is. There's still a few things I would like to change, but they may grow on me. Those things include the stem, the bar, and the crank set. This is a great sound. But for now, it's complete, it's finished, it's ready to go to the bike show at the swap. So I'm super excited about that. I like how the white housing turned out. The saddle's a great fit. So I'm really liking how it turned out. I hope you all liked the video and the build. If you did, please like and subscribe for more great content I have a lot more fun builds in the works and just tons of other great videos. If you're working on your own vintage project, make sure to check out our web store, Gringineer Cycles at gringineer.com. We have over 1,000 parts, mainly vintage, 80s and 90s, and frames, wheels, you name it, is up there. New parts being added weekly. Lots of NOS stuff, which is really cool and great for those nice builds. Have a great rest of your day.